April is not just about spring blooms. It's also Autism Awareness and Acceptance Month, a time to celebrate diversity and inclusion. Join me today as we honor this occasion by crafting a beautiful and colorful wreath using budget-friendly materials. Hello my sweets, it's Keisha. Welcome back to my channel, and thank you for choosing to watch my video. Let's spread love, positivity, and joy through creativity. In this portion of the video, I'll be using one 12-inch diameter willow wreath, red matte tool, yellow matte tool, green matte tool, blue matte tool, and rainbow serape ribbon. I have my matte tool here, and this is a new roll. I purchased this off of Amazon, and I'll have it linked in the description box below. And it is a matte tool that I'm using here today. Now, I don't know, yeah, you can pick it up a little bit here. I'm going to be cutting, I should turn it this way, this down to 15 inches, or 15-inch pieces, I should say. And this is really up to you what size you want to do for your wreath if you choose to do a wreath in this fashion. Okay, so I'm just gonna simply cut these down to 15 inches. Another option is you can use pinking shears if you have them, or just regular scissors. And we are going to be tying these on to the wreath form in double sheets. So I have, again, the red, yellow, green, and blue, and I'm making an Autism Awareness Acceptance wreath because April is Autism Awareness Month, so I thought let me put this together really quick. I don't know how many of you are aware, but I do have a little boy who's 7 and the joy of my life. He has been diagnosed with autism. He is nonverbal. He's just a beautiful kid, and he's got all the personality in the world, and I just love him to death. So I just wanted to do this here. Plus I know he's going to just love all of the colors. So I'm going to go ahead and continue and get all of my colors here done, and we will move on to the next step when I return. I have all of my pieces cut here, and so next what I'm going to do is take 2 pieces of the red, and I just have them laid out in the order that I want them to go around the wreath form. And this is a 12-inch willow wreath form from the Dollar Tree. I'm just using what I have on hand. I imagine that a foam, one of those plain foam ones, might work better for this, but again, this is what I'm using what I have on hand. So I'm taking 2 pieces and I'm just kind of bunching them together like this, and then I'm gonna just simply tie it in a knot. I'm just gonna try to make sure my edges are even, my ends, and just tie it off. And there we have our first piece. So now I'm gonna go through and get the yellow here. Oop. And got it bunched together. I'm gonna go right next to the red. And tie it in a knot. And then I'm just gonna scoot them close to one another and keep going. Just like that. So I'm gonna continue on going around, and I will be back with you once I have gotten all of these on. I've gotten all of the tulle tied onto the wreath form, and this is basically all I have left from those 4 rolls of tulle. So if you recreate this project and you're doing it with a 12-inch wreath form and you're cutting your strips to about 15 inches, I would say just cut the whole roll up and fill up your wreath here. So next, what I want to do is add the ribbon, and I have this beautiful serape ribbon that I found on Amazon to use. It's just personal choice. I just thought it was really pretty, and so we're going to use that next to add a little bit more texture and color, as if there isn't enough color on this already, this ribbon. So I worked out that I want to cut them at about 15 inches long, same as the tulle. This time I'm going to use my pinking shears to zigzag the edge, and then I'm going to take a lighter here and just seal those edges so they don't fray. So you just want to kind of run the flame over it, and that'll seal the edges for you. So I'm going to go ahead and cut this one. You could also do a slanted cut or a dovetail cut. I just choose not to do that. So if you don't seal your edges, sometimes you'll get like that fray on it, and I don't want that. So I'm going to go ahead and seal the edge of this one also. And what I'm going to do is come through, and I'm trying to decide, and this is strictly optional. If you want to just end it before the ribbon, you can most certainly do so, because it's beautiful as it is right now. But I'm going to go ahead and tie this on the same way as I tied on the tulle here. And what I was trying to say before was I was trying to decide where I wanted to tie them. So I think I'm just going to maybe go every other red and blue section. But I want to try to keep the ends as even as possible. If they're a little off, it's okay. I'm going to tie it, and then I'm going to try to tie it also so that this white side doesn't show. So I'm going to flip it while I'm pulling and turn it. And just pull it kind of tight. Did I turn this now? I can't figure out which way I turned it. And I'm just going to keep this in front of the tulle here, so in front of the knots of the tulle, just to kind of make that part of the focus here. I don't want it to get lost in the tulle. Okay, so I'm going to see. Let's see if this degree of separation is okay. Okay, so I'm just going to go around and go every other red, red and blue, where the red and blue touch. I'm going to go every other one. Okay, and then I'm going to be back to show you how I am going to fix up another piece to this wreath. What I have here is a puzzle piece that I cut out on my Cricut. It is made out of chipboard that is 1.5 millimeters, and I cut 3 of them out and I glued them together. Now I just went onto Design Space and picked a puzzle piece that I liked, and then I enlarged it. So this is measuring about 10.5 by 7, almost 8 inches, 7 7/8. So that's what I have right here. And I have some Folkart multi-surface paint here. The paint kind doesn't matter. I'm just using the color, which is the Sky Mist. So I'm going to go ahead and paint this entire thing here in the Sky Mist. And I'm going to also be taking it on the sides as well. So I'm going to go on and get this started here. And I'm going to go ahead and finish this up. It's looking like I may need to do multiple coats. So I'm not going to make you watch this. I'm going to go ahead and go away and finish painting this, and I'll come back with the next step. This is nice and dry now, so what I have here is a printout that I did on my Cricut. And I just have some tick lines on here to help me center it up on here. And I also marked the centers on the puzzle piece. And I did paint the back, and I just put a little heart on the back with some chalk paint. Our door is glass, so I thought when we're seeing through this, through the back of the door, then that'd be nice to see. So what I'm going to do now is, of course, remove the vinyl here, and this is just regular black vinyl that I cut this out with. And I'm just going to try to line this all up with my marks. Oh, that's not what I wanted to do. Ooh, that was scary. Not really, but all right, so this is about center here. I think so. I'm just gonna burnish this down a little bit. Oh no, I think my tape is underneath there. Got it. Okay. I think the rest of it will be okay. know why I'm having so many issues. Maybe it's the strong grip vinyl. Maybe that was a little bit of overkill. It is not wanting to release. So I got that on finally. I don't know, I think the strong grip transfer tape is a little too strong by me. Anyway, I've gotten this done here, and so the next thing I want to do is take some of this Glitterific Aqua paint and just put it inside of this heart, just as a cute little touch. And then once that is dry, I'm going to take it out and seal it with some clear gloss sealer, since it will be outside on the front door. I just don't want it to get ruined. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. Let me show you. This stuff is quite thick. It's by Folkart. Look at how thick it is. It's not even wanting to come out of the jar. That should be plenty. I'm just gonna get a smaller brush. This one should be good. And I'm just gonna take some of this and just kind of position it in here. And then once this is dry, I'm going to go ahead and take it outside and seal it up. Okay, so then once I return, I will show you how I'm going to attach it to the wreath and get this thing hung up. I'll be right back. This puzzle piece has been sealed, and I also added on the back some wires. Now I did have to put a couple of riser pieces here because I wasn't sure how deep the staples were going to go, and the last thing I wanted was for it to come out on the other side. So just added a couple pieces, actually 3 more pieces of the same board that I used this out of. I used to make this puzzle piece out of, and I would glue them together and then would glue them to this, and then stapled this 18 gauge wire onto that. So the next thing I want to do is talk to you about the wreath. Now, last I left off, I believe I was just tying the ribbon onto the wreath here, and I ended up cutting them because they were a little too long and they were kind of flapping over and showing the white part a little too much for my liking. So I did go ahead and trim them down, probably about 1 inch on each side, I would say. And then I came around, and let me find it here. At the top of the wreath, I put a ribbon here, and just a flat ribbon. I didn't tie it. And then I hot glued the ribbon down, and then I took another piece and kind of folded it over on itself to make a hanging loop. So that's what I did there while I was off camera. So all I want to do next is make sure I have this in the right spot to attach this piece here. And let's see, how do I want to do this? I'm just gonna snake this wire through. And the wires may be a little bit long. I may need to trim them down afterwards. These are 18, they're 18 gauge, but I did cut them to 18 inches. You don't necessarily have to use wire either. You can use ribbon or twine. There are several options. You can also just glue it directly to the wreath. Okay. How'd you get out? Excuse me. I'm just going to flip this over here, set it to where I want it to be, start tightening up my wires. And let me just double check this placement. I think that's going to be good. So all I'm going to do next is just trim these wires down a little bit. I have some wire cutters here. And I'm going to leave myself just a little bit extra still. And now I'm going to take just some jewelry wire, jewelry pliers, and I'm just going to take and curve the edge over, just so it doesn't snag up on anything or anyone. So you can see there I just made, I can't see that. I just made some loops in the wire, and then I'm just going to lay those down. I'm pretty sure these can also be done with a standard if you don't have jewelry making tools for the wire. So let me try it with that, just in case you don't have same particular tool. Yep, it's doable. I'll just roll this one more time. You can see I just rolled that over with regular pliers. And then I'm just gonna bring that down. So here's our finished wreath. So all that's left to do is to fluff it and go hang it. So please stay tuned for final pictures. As I wrap up today's colorful creation, remember that April is Autism Awareness and Acceptance Month. Let's continue to spread love and understanding in our communities, not just in April, but always. If you enjoyed making this vibrant wreath with me, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more inspiring content. Thank you for joining me today, and remember, love, inspire, create. Love you, bye!